What is up, everybody? We're rolling audio here today on episode 42 of the Hodder Show. How are you? I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day so far. Thank you so much for tuning in and clicking that play button on today's episode of the podcast, which is about nothing in particular. I got a lot of shit on my mind that I want to talk about. Some stuff about the podcast, some stuff about work, things like that. I just got a lot on my mind today, so I am going to talk a whole bunch of random bullshit. I did an episode like this a little while ago. I think it was episode 25. I literally entitled it Random Bullshit, and I think that's probably what this is going to be as well. Talk about some future guests as well, and I've got another somewhat announcement that I'm going to be making that may not surprise a lot of people, but I'm going to make it anyway a little bit later on the podcast here. But first, before I get into all that, I want to thank everybody for all the support on Dom's podcast. Definitely was one of the biggest interviewee type podcasts I've ever done. Really was happy with that to see all the support. Thank you to Dom and the guys on my league for liking and sharing and so forth. Always appreciate it. The more people who share the Hodder Show, the more people who listen, the better this show is going to do, and the better this show does, the more I can justify on kind of putting more time and money into the show, making it better for you guys, because at the end of the day, that is why I'm here. I'm here to entertain you. I'm here to help you get through your day, whether it's a work day or you're just hanging out at home. I'm here to hang out with you and entertain you. So that's what we're here to do, and I always appreciate all the support. Definitely cool to see cross mediums, so to speak, how well it did. Pretty average views in that on everything. So very cool. I put up a poll earlier in the week about asking what medium you guys use for the podcast. So that was pretty interesting to see that things were pretty even. I find lately a lot more people have been checking out the YouTube thing. So I might start doing more YouTube stuff. I might start doing. I'm going to be starting to do all my updates and stuff like that on YouTube and things of that nature. So definitely keep an eye on that. If you have not, definitely subscribe to the YouTube to keep up with everything that's going on. Dislike all the videos and everything that you are checking out. Leave comments. I love to talk to you guys, interact with you guys. That is why I do this. So be sure to comment, like, and dislike, and all that fun stuff. And if you are listening on SoundCloud currently, be sure to give the Hodder Show a follow, like the podcast you are listening to. Yeah, definitely, if you listen on the SoundCloud and do not have an account, definitely make one. It's very easy. It does not cost you an absolute dime, and I will be able to actually see who is, when you have an account with the SoundCloud, I can actually physically see you, that you are listening and so forth, and I will make sure to thank you personally. I know that Mr. Steven Scott, if you're listening right now, Steven, thank you for always checking out the podcast, buddy. I always appreciate it. I know you are a pretty avid listener, because I can see clearly that you're listening to the podcast. So thank you for that. Definitely want to give everyone a shout out whenever I can see that they're listening to the podcast. So be sure to do that. And of course, you guys know, if you're listening on the iTunes, that it's the easiest way to listen to the Hodder Show. All you need to do is hit that subscribe button, and the Hodder Show will be automatically downloaded onto your device, whatever it is, whether you're listening on your iPod, your iPad, your iPhone, your Mac. Doesn't matter. You will just, second a new Hodder Show is put up, it will download right to your device. You don't even have to think about it. Fully on demand. All of them are up there. I am never going to pull them or anything of that nature, so definitely check that out. We're getting up there. We're getting up there in episodes now, so as I keep going along here, definitely feel free to go back and check them all out on the iTunes. Definitely the easiest way. They're all right there for you. You can download to your device. Very easy, very cool. Very happy with the support on iTunes. We're sitting steady at the 10 5-star ratings, which is so awesome. I never thought I'd have 10 5-star ratings on iTunes, so definitely very cool. So thank you all guys again so much for the support. Of course, I got to give a shout out to my man, Mr. Jason Reese, over at the Jaybird Digital Arts. You guys know how much I love his stuff and how awesome he is. I could not do a podcast without thanking him. He will definitely be involved with anything that I do as far as logos or advertisements, banners, anything like that in the future, because he is awesome. You guys know you can check him out at his website, www.jaybird, that's Jaybird, digitalarts.ca. If you need anything at all digital art wise, you need logos, you need banners, you need advertisements, the album cover artwork, single album cover artwork. He did some really awesome stuff for the awesome band Psycho. Very recently he just did, I saw some stuff on his Facebook page, so definitely check that out. Very good guy, great price, and he does awesome work. If you definitely do use him, be sure to let him know TJ sent you, because I want to make sure he knows I'm sending people his way, because he does awesome work. But without further ado, I'm just going to kind of talk about a bunch of random bullshit that's on my mind, so bear with me here, hang on as we go for this probably a bit of a roller coaster of a podcast. Let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? I am hyped. I am back again here in my room. I usually actually do the podcast in. It seems kind of silly that I'm hyped about that, but usually the last few podcasts I've been doing them in the kitchen, actually, just because I've been kind of having to do them quick. This is the first time I've really gotten to sat down and do a full podcast in a couple weeks. Just been a little busy. So I'm very excited to be able to be back. So if you notice the sound quality is a little bit better, that is why. It shouldn't be as much echo and that kind of thing. I know I've had some people say, hey, I've noticed the last few podcasts here, there's been a lot of echoing and that kind of thing. So hopefully this is a little bit better for you guys. I apologize if that bothered you. I know that some of my more tech-savvy listeners noticed it, so hopefully it didn't bother you guys too much. I know I got my balls broken over it, but that is okay, because it is all in good fun. That's what we're here to do. We're here to have fun and entertain you and hang out with you while you are getting through your work day, while you're doing a gaming session. Doesn't matter what it is. We're here to hang out. So I'm glad that you are joining me today. Well, rather, I am joining you today, that you have allowed me to come into your home or car or workplace and hang out with you, because currently I'm sitting just hanging out. So what better to do than to hang out together? If we could all just get along and hang out and be friends, the world would be such a better place. But those are some thoughts for another podcast, because today there is just a whole bunch of crap on my mind. Some serious, some not. So I figured I would just kind of do a podcast about a whole bunch of nothing. As I mentioned in the intro, I did a podcast like this few podcasts ago, actually. I think it was episode 25, and it was I called it an update episode as well on quite a few things, and I do have some updates in that I mentioned in the intro, but I will save that for a little later, because first I just want to talk about something that is pretty serious, that I feel I need to mention. I know that most of you listening will already know this, understand this, and blah, 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 but so I'm not going to talk too much about it. But where I work, it is a travel plaza, as most of you know. I'm not going to talk about anything. A lot of people coming in and out, a lot of people out driving, going on trips, things like that. And I am seeing more and more and more lately. And it's something that really is bothering me, which is why I'm talking about on the podcast. I am seeing more and more often families traveling with dogs. Now, that's fine. That's wonderful. You're going on up to your cottage, bring your dog. That's amazing. Perfect. Don't leave them sitting at home or anything like that. That's bullshit. Don't do that. But if you know you need to stop, hey, we got to take a bathroom break, we got to run inside. One of you stays with the dog, the other one goes inside, vice versa. It's not hard. Most people understand this. Most people get it. If you all really want a sandwich or you want a burger from Wendy's or something or coffee, one of you will stay with the dog, make sure the AC's on, make sure the window's open. It's all good. If there are 2 of you, 3 of you, 4 of you in a car, and you leave your dog inside the car while you all go inside, sit down and get a bite to eat, you are literally worthless pieces of shit. Okay? And I do not care if me saying this offends anyone, because if it does, you need to take a long, hard look at yourself. I see more and more often now, not just at my work, but out in the open, out in everyday life, I see dogs inside of cars. I don't know if you guys have been outside lately, but it is very, very hot. And people who think it is literally okay and it's not a big deal to leave your dog in the car. Oh, I'm just running inside for a couple of minutes. No. It is not fucking okay. It bothers the shit out of me. And if I'm walking by your car and I see your dog sitting in there and they're panting away, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to bust your fucking windshield if I need to. I'll bust any of your windows. I don't care. I'm busting your car down and I'm getting in there and getting that dog out of there. Because there's not a dog. It doesn't matter. Oh, well, my dog doesn't have a lot of fur. There is no excuse. There is no reason as to why you cannot figure that out. I had someone once when I was at the store at Gigs. We had an open door policy with animals. That was just how it was. And I had a guy one time, he came in, he said, "Hey man, I have a big Irish wolfhound out my truck. My AC's on and everything," but he's like, "Do you mind if I bring him inside? Because I kind of want to just like check out some guitars. I didn't even know the store was here." He's like, "I don't usually like leave him in the car or whatever." And I was like, yeah, no problem. He brought in, it was a really nice dog, a big dog. If y'all don't know what an Irish wolfhound is, look it up. They are very big dogs. So he figured it out. He worked around it. Most of the time, if you cannot bring your dog inside and you need to go into a place of business, sometimes people in that business will either allow it to happen or they'll figure something out. Like, for example, at my work, if someone tries to bring a dog inside, unfortunately they can't be inside, but either myself or one of the other people that are working, we go outside and stand with the dog so that the dog is not sitting in the car, in the hot car, in the sun or whatever. We take it over to the shade or whatever. We'll bring it out water if it needs water, so on and so forth. So there are ways around it, and this whole mentality and bullshit of people going, "Oh, well, I want a sandwich, or I need my coffee, or I need to get this, or, oh, I really want to try on this dress, or, oh, I really want a McDonald's," or whatever the fuck, whatever the reason. It doesn't matter. There's no excuse for it, guys. It is getting so hot out. Like right now today, I don't know what the temperature is right now. Definitely over 30. It's hot. And if you are leaving your dog inside your car or truck, even for a little bit, even if you have the windows cracked, it doesn't matter. It is so friggin' hot out that it is just not okay. And if you're going to be gone for more than a couple minutes, even with the windows cracked, your dog's going to suffer. They're going to feel it. We still hear about dogs being left in cars, and I was just watching the news there just a little bit ago and reading some articles and online and that, and there's 3 or 4 news stories I see that are of dogs being left in cars, and I think it was a few weeks ago there was a police dog that was left in the car somewhere in the States, and like stuff like that. It bothers me, it pisses me off. There's no need for that kind of bullshit in this day and age. There never was, but people who do that kind of thing, I'm sorry, there's no excuse for it. You need to figure your shit out, or you shouldn't own a dog, because there's no reason for it. You can figure it out. If you're going to be having to stop somewhere, don't bring your dog if you can help it. And if you can't help it, well, maybe don't stop. That's why they invented drive-thrus. Okay? Most of the time, and I work when I see dogs in cars, the people could have easily gone through the drive-thru. There's no excuse for it. There's no reason. And we have a policy at our work. We do not put up with it. We will go out to the car. We will find the license plate. We will call the people. If they do not come, we will call the fire department, police, whoever we need to call. It will happen. You will be fined. We have no patience for it. I haven't had an experience like that yet where we've had to really actually take action, because 9.5 times out of 10 the people come running and take care of it or whatever. But let me tell you, if it came to it where that dog had been in that car for more than a few minutes and the people weren't showing up or they weren't doing anything about it, guess what would happen? I'd smash their windows and take that dog, and I would just deal with the consequences because I just don't care. I guess that's my girlfriend coming out at me. You don't even want to hear my wonderful girlfriend Sam talk about that kind of thing, because she has a lot different opinion on it than I do as far as what she would done to the people. So definitely now that they're starting to make the penalties more serious for that kind of thing, I hope we don't see it anymore. If you are someone who just maybe, if you just don't understand or know why it's such a big deal, talk to your vet about it. Have them explain to you why it is such a big deal, because it's really something that we shouldn't be happening anymore. There's no need for it. There really isn't. And if you're the kind of person who wants to take your dog for a walk down to the grocery store and make them sit outside for 20 minutes while you get groceries, that is, I would almost say that's worse. Because they're sitting there tied up to a goddamn thing and they're outside in the heat. Don't do that. Don't fucking do that. Okay? Leave your dog at home. In Newcastle, there's this dude who does that. And every single time I see that dog, I say something to the guy. Last time, I almost called the cops. Because I went inside, and the dog was sitting there panning away, crying and whining. I went in and was like, hey, like, can we get some water for this dog? And like, blah, 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 blah. Because the dog is not inside a car, like, I guess there's not, like, the police can't technically do anything. But it's the same jackass. And every time I'm just like, dude, like, what are you doing? He's just like, mind your business. He's some old crusty fuck. And it's just, it bothers me. It really, really bothers me. And just, there's no reason for it. There's no excuse for it. If your dog's going to be outside, make sure they have water. You don't need to take them for an hour-long walk in this heat or whatever the fuck. Okay, I don't care. There's no need for it, especially if they're a long-haired dog. There's just no excuse for it. Be careful. Be cautious. Be courteous to our furry friends in the heat, because sometimes, guys, they cannot look after themselves. We need to. This is not aimed at anyone directly who listens to the podcast or anything for us. This is just me kind of ranting, venting a little bit, because that's kind of what I do on the podcast as well. As much as I love to entertain you guys and talk about fun stuff and that kind of thing, there was something I really wanted to just get off my mind, because I see it so often now. I know that most people who listen to the podcast feel as strongly as I do about it, but just something to keep in mind as we're heading into the the summer and heading into the really, really hot time and that kind of thing. Look out for our furry friends. That's all I'm saying, folks. Is just look out for them. If you see a dog in a car, don't hesitate to call 911. Don't ever hesitate. Don't walk by and think someone else is going to take care of it. Because you know what, guys? Sometimes that's not what happens. And most times when a dog is found in a car, there was one, I think it was at Walmart. I think it was a couple years ago. And the dog was, I think they were in the car for an hour and a half. So, I mean, fuck those people. I don't care what happened. I don't care what the excuse was. Those people should be in prison as far as I'm concerned. Because that's animal cruelty. But whatever. But what really pissed me off is people would walk by and they're taking videos and they're taking pictures. And they're just standing there saying how horrible this is. And they're not doing anything. I swear to God, like, they're like, oh, well, what were we supposed to do? Break the fucking window. That dog ended up passing away because no one helped it. By the time that, I think it was the fire department that they came and they broke, I think they ended up breaking the back window out to try and get the dog out. By the time they got there and they got in there, the dog was already going to die. It was just, If you see a dog in a car, on a hot car, it doesn't matter. Call someone, do something about it. Because as far as I'm concerned, unfortunately, if you see something like that and you know, okay, wow, it's been a few minutes, it's been like 10, 15 minutes, and you don't do something about it, you're just as much at fault. So, something to keep in mind. Watch out, everybody. Just be cautious. Be mindful, that kind of thing, because unfortunately, not everybody is. But moving off of that kind of serious topic, I apologize, guys, if I was a bit of a downer there. It's just something that it really does infuriate me. But we are not here today just to talk about that. Like I said, this is kind of going to be all over the place today. I wanted to talk to you guys about kind of something that's happened a while ago. The T-shirt situation with the podcast. I know a few people have kind of asked me, go, hey, dude, like, what's going on with the T-shirts? Like you said, you were going to be doing them, blah, 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 blah. Here's what's going on with the T-shirts. They are happening. I have been kind of waiting to see if I can find a little bit of a better price and so forth for everybody, because the last time I checked, it was going to be a little more than I wanted for the T-shirts. I don't want to charge you guys a lot of money. All I was looking to do with the T-shirts was to break even. So I wanted to keep them under $20. That was my goal. I wanted to keep them around $15. And as of right now, it's looking like it's going to be closer to $20. I am still trying. I am still working on it. I apologize to everybody if there isn't anyone who's actually wanted T-shirts. The second I have a finalized price and I know that I've exhausted all possible means of trying to find a better price and so forth for you guys, I will post a status that will have all the information that is needed. I will be doing a pre-order for them. It's not something I'm going to just order them all and pay for them all up front and give them away. Unfortunately, I just do not have the funds to do that. So, but that is something that I'm going to be doing, hopefully very soon, because I know that Mr. Dawson and Mr. Ryan Wood, the heel Ryan Wood, both of you who won T-shirts on the episode 30 Livecast. I know you guys have been wondering where the hell your T-shirts are. It is happening. It is happening. I'm a man of my word. Unfortunately, it's just been a bit of a slow process, but I think we're just about on it right now. So just keep bearing with me. I appreciate the understanding and the patience as I kind of keep going with this here, because but kind of how I just was on the topic of I mentioned the Livecast. I actually just wanted to kind of announce, I guess, here today, that when I did the Livecast, it was so much fun. I love hanging out with you guys. It was something that I wasn't 100% certain if I was going to do it again in that format. I thought about, there was some ideas of me doing something on Mixlr, which if you guys are familiar with, basically it's like a live audio streaming site, but I know with that sometimes there's some issues and that kind of thing. I wasn't sure if I was going to do the video again, because I really feel like that it doesn't really matter if I do the video. But with talking with some people and with my my producer, Mr. Brandon Bowden of Your Average Noob, we have decided that best thing to do is to keep going with YouTube, because it was so much fun. I really seriously loved it, and because of that, I'm announcing here today that we will be doing, drum roll, that's a horrible drum roll, we will be doing a episode 50 live cast in some format. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the YouTube thing. I will be sure to make a actual event and everything again. I'm hoping to make this one even bigger than the last one. I really had so much fun doing it, guys. It really would be awesome if you guys can all check it out, hang out. I'm going to do it a little bit later in the day than I did before. I think I started the last one about 7 o'clock. I'm probably going to start this one about maybe 8, somewhere in that ballpark. Just an hour later, because I know that on the last live cast, right near the end when I was getting ready to sign off, we went for about 2 hours. Actually, it was over that. I know that when I was kind of getting ready to sign off, a whole whack of people came on. So people just got off work, some people just had stuff going on and earlier in the night and they couldn't get on. So I'm definitely going to do it a little bit later, probably on a Thursday again. But let me know for sure what you guys think. If there's another night you guys would rather have it. If you guys would rather me do it on a weekend. Doing it on the weekend's a little tricky for me. Just because my work schedule on that. Usually during the week works a little better. But yeah, that's that. That was my announcement. I am doing a episode 50 live cast coming up actually very soon. In another 8 episodes actually. We're going to be doing that. So looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys again. Live, doing that kind of thing. Probably going to be nothing overly special this time. The live cast or something that the last one, it was the first one I did, and I kind of hyped the whole Q&A thing and the fact that I had questions lined up and all that kind of bullshit. And at the end of the day, it didn't really matter because the interaction with you guys definitely helped push that show along. If you guys remember, for those of you who listened to the live cast and checked it out, and if you didn't, you can go back at any time. You can physically watch it on YouTube. Just search episode 30. You can go on my videos and check that, or you can go on the search bar, just type in the Hodder Show EP.space30, and it should pop right up. Basically, if you type in the Hodder Show, you should never have any problems finding it because I'm the only Hodder Show on YouTube, to my knowledge as of right now. I guess another one could pop up, but I don't think that's going to happen. But definitely had so much fun doing that. Not going to be anything like I was mentioning about the Q&A and that. I have actually a bunch of questions. I was just on the topic of that I think I'm actually going to run through just kind of for shits and giggles. But as far as the live cast, we're just literally, there's no plan. We're going to call that fucker in the ring. I'm going to just hit play, so to speak, on the live cast, and I'm going to sit there and I'm going to interact with you guys because it was so much fun last time doing it that way. I threw I had my little, like I was saying, if you guys don't remember, basically I had a little sheet in front of me of like kind of the format I was going to try and keep it, and about 10 minutes in I just kind of went, screw it, we're doing it live. So that's definitely the way to do it, and that's definitely what you guys can expect from that. Don't think there'll be any giveaways or anything on this one. I know that's episode 30 was cool because people were like, oh, he's giving stuff away and that, and probably won't be anything like that this time. Just something that I want to do for fun, just to hang out with you guys. So definitely keep an eye on your Facebooks and your invites for that Facebook event. Probably won't be for another week or so that I make the event page. I don't want to make it too far in advance because people like to forget about it. So sometimes you make it so far in advance, people just ignore it. I know me personally, I'm horrible for that. If I see an event and I'm like, oh man, it's not till like September. Sometimes I won't even click accept just because I'll like be like, oh, I'll come back to it. And I tend to miss a lot of stuff that way. So luckily my wonderful girlfriend keeps up on that kind of thing. She'll go, hey, are you doing this? And I was like, what? But that is that, guys. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And kind of what I mentioned just a couple minutes ago about the whole Q&A thing. Earlier, I was kind of picking through the notes on my phone, and I found all the questions that I was going to answer on the live cast, and I figured, what might be kind of fun for kind of the rest of this podcast here, because I've already kind of talked about what I want to talk about. Like I said earlier, guys, I wanted to kind of give an update on the T-shirt thing. I had that little spiel about dogs and cars and so forth, and talked about the update on the live cast and that kind of thing. So all very cool stuff. But I wanted to kind of just run through some of these questions on the Q&A because I thought some of them I definitely have answered. I've definitely talked about in the podcast plenty of times in that. So if there's anything that is a repeat, I apologize. But these were all questions either that were on the live cast that I just didn't get to that someone asked me, or they were questions that I've gotten emails and messages about before. There are no names or anything, just because unfortunately they've gotten lost in translation, so to speak. So I apologize if there's anyone who, if you're someone who I answer a question and you notice, oh, that was a question I asked them, be sure to let me know, because unfortunately I don't have the names or anything. I just jotted all the questions down quickly while I was doing the live cast so I could come back to them. Hopefully this next live cast we do, I can keep up with things a little bit better. But I am just going to kind of jump into some of these questions here, just kind of for fun, and see what we got. All right, so here's a good one. Someone asked me, I feel bad that I don't have any names or anything, but someone asked me on the live cast, I feel like it was either Kevin or Jason Reese, of course, or Kevin from PW Pop. I want to say it was Kevin, so hi Kevin if you're listening, this question's for you. I'm pretty sure it was you who asked me who my favorite current wrestler is, who my favorite wrestler from the past is, and my favorite wrestler from like the bygone era, who potentially has passed away now. That's definitely a doozy of a question. You guys know how much I love wrestling and everything, talk about all the time on the podcast. As far as my favorite wrestler from the past, definitely my favorite wrestler from the past, so to speak, someone from the 80s and back and that kind of thing. Definitely, without a doubt, is someone who he's still active in wrestling. Unfortunately, very recently there's been some kind of weird stuff happen with and that kind of thing. But that man is Mr. The King, Jerry Lawler. Definitely one of my favorite guys to watch from back in the day, even though he was still, he's still active and that kind of thing. And he was still even active in the company up until recently. There was a bit of a dispute, some legal issues with apparent domestic abuse and that kind of thing. Still a lot is unknown about that. I'm not going to comment on that or anything, but definitely Jerry Lawler is without a doubt my favorite wrestler from kind of the past. Always loved watching his matches, loved his promos. Jerry Lawler in Memphis is one of the best things you'll ever see. One of my favorite matches I ever saw was Jerry Lawler versus Nick Bockwinkel, with Nick Bockwinkel obviously being the heel, because he's Nick Bockwinkel, and Jerry Lawler playing the babyface in that role. Very, very awesome match. I highly recommend you guys check it out. Very, very cool. As far as a wrestler from kind of the who's not current but who was around, maybe he's just retired or that kind of thing. Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, is Dean Malenko. If you guys don't know who Dean Malenko is, I highly recommend you check him out. He had a few different nicknames: the Man of 1,000 Holds, the Iceman, that kind of thing. He was, without a doubt, one of the greatest light heavyweight cruiserweight wrestlers I've ever seen. A technician in the ring. His submission moves, his suplexes, everything he did was absolutely amazing. It was flawless. He wasn't known as a great promo guy, mic guy. I never minded him. He'd knock on the mic all the time, but whenever he did, I didn't mind it. So I don't know. I never understood why everyone always said that about him, but definitely an amazing, amazing talent. If you guys have never seen Dean Malenko in any matches, definitely check him out. His stuff in ECW is absolutely amazing as the shooter, Dean Malenko. Very awesome stuff. To this day, one of my favorite maneuvers I've ever seen for the first time that really wowed me was Dean Malenko hitting his top rope rib buster. Is always very cool. Seeing the Texas Cloverleaf as well, always very cool. So definitely Dean Malenko is kind of my middle ground guy from like the 90s, 2000s. That is my favorite, who's no longer active. Still is active in the company, but just is no longer wrestling. So, and as far as my favorite current guy in wrestling right now, definitely, it's tricky because there's two. There's two. I think I may have actually answered this question on the live cast, but whatever, we're rolling with it. Definitely, I have to say is AJ Styles. And I don't really think I need a reason why. Just watch what he's doing right now with the club. I love the club too. I love Kevin Owens as well. He's just amazing to watch. I love watching him. I get so much of a kick out of it. But definitely AJ Styles. Just the journey he's had to get to the WWE. His work rate since he's been in the company has been nothing short of absolutely incredible and amazing. Definitely am very happy with the way they are booking him. Definitely happy with all his promos and everything. I don't think there's much else better they can do with AJ Styles. I think he is on the perfect path he needs to be. I want to see him work for that title. I don't want to see him give it to him too early. The mark-out moment I had and still have whenever I see AJ's debut in the Royal Rumble, this past Royal Rumble here, it was amazing, and it still is amazing. I actually went back and watched that footage not all that long ago, and it reminded me just like, oh my god, this is so incredible. So definitely AJ Styles for sure, I would say. But that was a question that, like I said, I believe that was from Kevin from PW Pop. If you guys have never checked out PW Pop, be sure to. Awesome website. Give out all your wrestling 24 hours a day, that kind of thing. And Kevin's a good dude as well. He's the social media manager for the site. So that was for you, Kevin, if you are listening. It was either you or Jason. Jason, I apologize if you're listening and you asked me that question. I remember you asked me something about Bubba Ray Dudley. It is what it is. I don't remember. But moving on here, we got actually a few questions that I think are actually pretty good questions. So I'm just going to kind of run through some of these here. One that I thought was kind of interesting was just what exactly, and I know I talked about this on the live cast, but I'll talk about it again here just for anyone who may be wondering. I said, what exactly caused you to want to sit down and do a podcast? I know that my good friend Mr. Brendan Bowden, the producer of the Hodder Show, asked this on the live cast, but I'll just kind of answer again quickly here. Basically, I wanted to start doing this podcast because I love podcasting so much. I love podcasts in general. I love what's the word I'm trying to say here? I love the kind of the what is the word I'm trying to friggin' say here? This is just this is an inside look at DJ Hodder's brain. I love the community. That's the word I'm trying to say. The community of the podcast world. I know that I myself have already, there's quite a few people, mostly wrestling podcasts, but kind of my little community I have built of people, of podcasts that I check out, that I have discovered through doing this podcast. Definitely podcasts like the Respect the Mat podcast, on PW Pop, very good podcast for anyone who's a wrestling fan. The Faster Than the World podcast as well. Very good stuff if you were into NXT. And I think those guys are going to be doing another podcast soon. I think they're going to be covering the Cruiserweight Classic, so definitely keep an eye out for that. I will be sure to share that for any wrestling fan. Those are the two that come to mind that I listen to the most. But anyway, kind of got off topic here for a second. That's just kind of what my brain's like today, guys, so just bear with me. Definitely, as far as getting into the podcast and that, because I'm such a fan, I wanted to start doing one. I always threatened to do one, so I decided to just go ahead and start doing it and just seeing what happened, seeing if people actually would check it out and that. And it's been wonderful so far. So that's it. The main reason I started doing one just because I wanted to, and I threatened to, and it almost was a joke when I said I would. But enough people thought it'd be good enough, and enough people have checked it out since I've started doing it that I am doing it and continue to do it. So, and another question here that I've got from the on my Q&A list here is, have you ever thought about doing any kind of YouTube videos, anything like that? And the answer to that question is definitely yes. It is a lot of work doing the YouTube stuff. I have watched my friend Mr. Brendan Bowden of Your Average Noob do that over the past year or so, I think. It is a lot of work. It's something that's eventually, I definitely think I will be getting into that realm a little bit. But for now, I'm definitely going to stick with the podcasting because that's what I really love. I love laying down this audio. It's something now that I do. Hey, I've got an hour or two to kill and I got nothing to do. I'm going to do a podcast because it's fun for me. It's entertaining for me. It helps me not only pass the time, but I know hopefully it'll help you guys pass time as well. So, definitely something that I want to maybe eventually do on the Hodder Show YouTube channel. Like I mentioned earlier, I am going to be doing all my update videos that I do kind of once in a while. I'm going to be posting them all on YouTube from now on, just for shits and giggles. I definitely want to maybe eventually do some game streaming, perhaps. That would be very cool to do. Unfortunately, I do not have the platform to do that at the moment, but never say never because it could happen. So definitely keep an eye out for that. But as far as doing regular YouTube content, I definitely don't think you will see that at any time. So hopefully that answers your question. Whoever asked me that, I apologize. I feel so silly, the fact that I don't have names, but my intentions with these questions that were asked is that I was going to answer them all in the podcast, but unfortunately that didn't happen. All right. Next question I have here is if there's ever a chance that Sam will be on the podcast. I know we talked about this in the Livecast, but I'll just touch on this real quick here. Sam, for those of you who don't know, is my wonderful girlfriend of 4 years. I love her very much. She is absolutely the most wonderful person in my life, and the most wonderful thing that has ever happened to me, without a doubt. She does not want to be on the podcast. She has no interest in being on the podcast. She's pretty damn supportive of the podcast, but she does not want to be involved. However, she did make me a deal. That if I watched a bunch of horror movies of her choosing, we would do a podcast. And the story behind that is the fact that anyone who knows me quite well knows that I hate horror movies. I have a very overactive imagination, if that makes sense. So for me to sit down and watch a horror movie, the idea of that, it's great until after I watch it. I'm not necessarily scared watching the movies or of the movies themselves. It's what my brain does after, if that makes any sense. Maybe I'm just a pussy. I don't know, but I don't like watching horror movies. So the fact that she has said, hey, I'll do the podcast if you watch some horror movies, and I picked what ones they are. We've already watched one. So I think the deal was if I watch 10. So maybe eventually that will happen. I know on the Livecast people were pretty adamant that they wanted Sam on the podcast. So maybe we'll make that happen. Another question here, kind of on that topic of Sam, actually. Someone asked how we met. And I want to say that this was my good friend, Mr. Matthew Cannons. I don't know why I think that, but I think this was you, buddy, if you're listening. I know you listen to the podcast all the time. Sam and I actually met online. I feel like I may have answered this in the Livecast, but whatever. Sam and I met online, kind of in a fluke way. We could have easily just met at the supermarket or at a party or something or whatever the hell. It's just kind of when we met online first. That's really all I have to say. We met online, talked for a little while, kind of fell out of touch for about a week, and I thought, shit, she doesn't have any interest in me, whatever, moving on with my life. And then she added me on Facebook, and because we did not meet on Facebook, obviously. And then after that, we started talking more, and we just hit it off. Obviously, because we're going on almost 4.5 years now that we've been together. So definitely wonderful. Very happy about that. I'm so thankful for her every day of my life. So that is how Sam and I met. Let's see what else we got here. Do you miss gigs music? Definitely. As time has gone on, I miss it less in the sense of, I'm so thankful for my time there. I'm so thankful for all the wonderful people that I met during my time there, all the bands and that kind of thing. I would not know a lot of those bands if it wasn't for the store. This podcast would not exist because of the store, basically. So I'm very thankful for that. And I do miss, I miss the people. I miss, that's mainly what I miss. As far as the job itself, I definitely miss aspects of it. But there are aspects of it I definitely don't miss. Now that I am kind of back, not doing customer service. I mean, I'm kind of doing customer service, but not really. I don't deal with customers all the time. I definitely don't miss dealing with certain customers. And I don't miss having to rely on people for certain things and that kind of thing. So definitely, overall, I do miss it. But in a lot of ways, as time has gone on here, my heart has kind of healed from the loss of gigs. And I'm definitely... I look back on it with nothing but wonderfully vivid, fond memories, but I wouldn't say I miss it as much anymore. So hopefully that answers the question. On the topic of that, actually, someone asked me, I feel like this was my buddy Garrett, he asked me, why in the hell have we not jammed recently? Garrett, we will jam very soon, because we need to make that happen, and I miss jamming. I miss jamming very, very much. Kind of on that topic, something that someone had asked during the live stream that I did not even get a chance to touch on at all, and it was a really good question. Unfortunately, there was so many of them that I just didn't get a chance to touch on, so that's why I'm doing this little bit of Q&A here, and I still have a whole buttload of questions left, so I'm just going to kind of keep going here, just going to do a few more, but just kind of on that topic, talking about the jamming thing, someone asked me if I have any plans to do music ever again, and what they are meaning by that, I'm assuming is like writing music, kind of jamming, recording music, things of that nature, and the truth to that is, definitely. I always have a passion for music, and I always will have a passion for music. I still play guitar all the time, not as much as I used to, but still quite a bit. I'm always writing stuff, mostly just for myself personally, riffs and sometimes full-on little skeletons of songs and that kind of thing. I am definitely not one of those people who can sit down and write an entire song on my own, as far as like writing drums and writing lead guitar and all that kind of shit, just because I'm not a drummer, and I'm not good with the whole mini drum thing. I have tried, and unfortunately I just can't seem to do it. I can't seem to figure it out. So I am definitely someone who needs to be in a band. Once I am in a band situation, I tend to be able to write music, depending on the person, but I got lots of riffs, I got lots of lyrics, I got lots of vocal melody ideas, I got lots of stuff kicking around in the old noggin, lots of kind of recordings on my phone and that kind of thing. So there definitely will be something in the future. I don't know when. It could be 10 years from now. I have no idea. But there definitely will be something in the future. One of my my all-time dreams and goals in life was to release a album of some kind in some format, whether that's in a band, on my own, whether it's an EP, a full album, it doesn't matter. That was one of my goals, to release something, not to, make music to like get famous and make money off and stuff like that, but just for me personally, that was something I always wanted to do, and it is still a goal of mine. It is still a very achievable goal. I definitely have enough material to make that happen, so it is just a matter of maybe eventually finding the right guys to kind of sit down and jam with, and that will may definitely happen at some point. So yeah, hopefully that answers the question. Definitely will be look into that at some point. If you guys are at all interested in anything I've done, obviously everything I have is all strictly for fun. The recordings are very bad and everything, but you can check my personal SoundCloud. Just search TJ Hodder, and I do have a few things up. A couple riffs. One full acoustic song. Maybe a couple others. I can't recall what I have on there right now, but there's definitely some stuff on the SoundCloud. So if you are interested at all in what I have, check it out. I also have a video on my personal YouTube of myself and my good buddy Mr. Patrick Delaire and Brandon Bowden jamming out to a song that Pat and I wrote called Buried Alive. It is a song that has been around for a while. So some people may have recognized the riff in that, and some people may have already heard it. But definitely check that out if you guys are interested. Should be pretty easy to find on YouTube. Just search TJ Hodder. I should pop up. I don't think there's another TJ Hodder on YouTube, so definitely check that out if you guys are interested. Definitely. So hopefully that answers that question as far as plans for music. And as far as joining bands or anything like that, I definitely don't have any immediate desire to make that happen. I have had a couple offers over the past couple of years to, join bands and play bass and stuff and shit like that. But just, I'm definitely someone who, I don't really want to come in and join a band. I've always been that way. I've tried jamming with other people before, like coming into a situation where they have songs written in that, and it never seems to work out. I did do a lot of jamming, random jamming over my time at gigs, and it just never seemed to work out. So I definitely think I'm someone who needs to have some sort of relationship with the people prior. If a bunch of my buddies were like, hey dude, we've been secretly playing as this band, we have all these songs, come jam with us, that'd be a different situation. But as of right now, definitely no plans for that. Just if anyone was ever wondering that. I know during my time at the store, some people did ask, like, oh, you played in a band, blah, 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 blah. The answer to that is yes. I played in a legendary hard rock band by the name of Quarterstone. Look us up. So another question here. Does your family support the podcast? The answer to that is yes. If you guys listened and checked out the Livecast, which again you can go do right now on YouTube if you like. My parents were actually both watching the Livecast, and my grandma was watching the Livecast as well. So definitely my family supports it. It's so awesome that they do. It's something that not a lot of people really understand sometimes what a podcast is, and how much work goes into it and how much time you need to put into that to make it make it the way it's supposed to be. For me, it's an absolute labor of love. I love doing it. Now when I'm bored sitting around at home, I don't like sit down and play video games. I sit down and do a podcast because it's just something I like to do. But sometimes when people say things to me like, they're like, oh, well, like, it's like, what do you do now? And I'm like, this and this and podcast. And people are like, what? Some people never understand, but my mother, especially, she's been nothing but very supportive of the podcast. She listens all the time. She wants to be on the podcast. So definitely my family is very supportive of the podcast. And I'm very grateful for that, because having their support really means the world to me, because without their support, I would not be able to do this. Definitely. So yeah, family definitely does support the podcast for sure. What happened to the Hodcast name? Okay, now this goes back quite a ways. Episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere in that range of those my first 5 episodes. I made a joke about how I was going to call the podcast the Hodcast. And it was like this big joke, and I actually contemplated changing the name of the podcast from the Hodder Show to the Hodcast. And on, I think it was episode 4, I want to say, I asked at the end of the podcast, who thinks I should change the name? And I got an overwhelming amount of people messaging me, and they were like, dude, like, we love the Hodcast, like, make it happen. And so I was going to change the name. And then randomly, I discovered the morning that I was going to post the podcast announcing the name change, I found the Hodcast, which is another podcast. I don't think it's active anymore as we speak right now, but it was like a business podcast, whatever the fuck. So I just, like, literally, if you went on SoundCloud and typed in the Hodcast, it would pop up. So I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to have my show with the same name as another one, anything like that. I don't know. I wanted to avoid any confusion for anyone who would search on Google for me or anything like that. Just, if someone randomly is like, oh yeah, the Hodder Show, blah, 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 or yeah, the Hodcast, you typed in the Hodcast, I wouldn't have been the first thing that popped up. So I just decided to scrap that. In retrospect, looking back, I'm glad I did. I prefer the name The Hodder Show for sure. I think it's a better name. I think it kind of rolls off the tongue. The Hodder Show, I definitely am happy with that. So I definitely don't miss the fact that it was not the Hodcast, or I'm angry about that or anything like that. Definitely do prefer the Hodder Show. I like saying that better. So that's that. That's what ended up happening with the Hodcast. If you guys, anyone was wondering whatever happened with that, I did talk about it. Why I wasn't going to be changing the name or calling it the Hodcast anymore, or making that joke or anything, but just to give you guys a little more insight, that's what ended up happening with that. Now, question here. Oh God, this question, I know it was from Mr. Mav Simmered of Fear the Unknown, also former co-op of Gigs Music. He asked, why do you hate it when people call you Bud? Now, I have to give a bit of a backstory on this. Anyone who knows me quite well, knows that I hate, absolutely fucking hate being called Bud or Buddy. I don't know why. Not so much Buddy. I take that back. I don't care about being called Buddy. I don't know why I hate being called Bud so much. There is only certain people who can call me Bud. Okay, that's like my family, and that's literally pretty much it. My family and like maybe two other people can get away with it. My buddy Garrett can get away with it, and Mr. Rob Bernardi can get away with it. And that's it. Those are the only two people who can get away with calling me Bud. I don't know why I don't like it so much. I think it's more when younger people call me Bud, like they come in, hey Bud, what's going on? It's like, hey, listen, like, nah, don't. I had a kid at work call me Bud the other day, literally in a friendly term, like, hey Bud, what's going on? Like, and like I went stone faced, and he was like, what? I'm like, please don't call me Bud. He's like, okay, I'm sorry, I was just like saying hi, whatever. I'm like, I know, just please don't call me Bud. I don't like it. I don't know why. It's one of my pet peeves, and I don't know why it's a pet peeve, but it is. Please don't call me Bud. So at the end of the day, don't call me Bud. I can't really tell you why I don't like being called Bud. Maybe there's a reason. I don't ever think I was called Bud in an insulting way before, and now I hate it. But there must be something deep in my conscience that is that sees the word Bud as a insulting for some reason for me. So I don't know. I couldn't really tell you why, but I'm pretty sure Mav asked that question. So Mav, there you go, buddy. That's that. And the last question I'm actually going to answer today, I have like another like 20 questions sitting here. So what I think I'm actually going to do, I'm going to answer this last question, and then I'm going to actually continue on with this Q&A the next episode of the Hodcast. Just because this is fun to do. Doing the Q&As are really cool, because I do have so many questions left as well. I'm going to continue on with this Q&A for Sunday's episode of the podcast. Probably some other random bullshit in that as well. But the last question I want to answer today is a bit of a doozy. And it is, why didn't you try and work in another music store? Now, if you guys haven't already known, for some reason, this is the first time listening to the podcast or whatever, I used to work in a music store, Gigs Music, in Bowmanville. Most people know that already in the podcast. I'm not going to talk about anything. After that store closed down, I have since been working at my current job, which is not in the music field, even remotely. And people have asked me, like, hey, dude, why didn't you try and continue on in the music field? Like, why didn't you try and work in another music store, like a Lon McQuaid or something? And the brutally honest truth to that, my brutally honest answer, is it's kind of a two thing. Number one, I did try. I did put some applications in and didn't really get any callbacks or anything. But the other, number two, I didn't really try that hard. To be brutally honest with you guys, I after getting out of the business the way I did in that, it's didn't leave a bad taste in my mouth or anything, but just I know the way that I was used to doing things and the way that I did things at gigs and the way that Rob did things at gigs and that, and just the vibe of the store, the way that we were. I know no matter what, it's not going to be like that at any other store. And that really kind of didn't bother me, but it did weigh on me. I was like, okay, like say I go work at Lon McQuaid. I know it's very corporate. I know I'm not going to be able to hang out and shoot the shit with my regular customers and give them the absolute, my 100% attention all the time, because there's going to be a bunch of people coming in and that. And I know it wouldn't be gigs, and I don't think I'd enjoy it. I really don't. And that's the brutally honest answer to that question. If the opportunity ever arose, maybe I would have taken it. If I had gotten a callback or something from Lon McQuaid or whatever, or the Guitar Boutique or something. Maybe I would have actually gone, and gotten the job or something. But didn't end up happening. Wasn't meant to be, and that is okay. Luckily, I did find another job, and I am very, very happy with where I work and everything. So it is all good. But hopefully that kind of answers that question there for whoever asked that. Again, I feel like a bit of a goof for not writing down people's names. I feel like a lot of these questions are from the same person anyway, from the Livecast, but it is what it is. I'm just rolling with it. So I'm going to sign off here today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, clicking that play button. Hope you guys have enjoyed kind of this random... started off kind of ranting about dogs and cars, and talked about the Tshirts, and talked about the Livecast that's going to be happening. So definitely look forward to that. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys again so much on that Livecast. It was so much fun. Yeah, I will going to sign off here, and I will catch you guys next time on the Hodder Show. Take it easy.